536. Worst year in history for humans to live. Imagine a world where the sun barely shines, crops wither in the fields, and a suffocating cold blankets the earth. A world where despair and darkness consume hope, and survival is a daily struggle. Sounds like something out of a post-apocalyptic movie, but this was a reality over 1,000 years ago. This is the story of the year 536, widely considered the worst year to be alive in human history. The year 536, the worst year in history. The year 536 was not just any year. It was a year of unprecedented catastrophe, a year where life and death hung by a thread for millions of people across the globe. A volcanic eruption in 536 cast the earth into darkness, triggering the late antique Little Ice Age, causing widespread famine due to crop failures. Historical records capture the devastation of this decade-long cold period. The Byzantine historian Procopius wrote, "The sun emitted its light without brightness, like the moon, during this whole year, and it seemed like the sun was always in eclipse." The historian Michael the Syrian noted, "The fruits did not reach maturity, and the wine tasted like sour grapes. But the darkness and cold were only the beginning." As if nature had not done enough damage, a new terror emerged: the plague. In 541, just a few years after the volcanic winter began, the world was struck by the Justinian Plague, one of the deadliest pandemics in history. The plague spread rapidly through the weakened and starving populations, killing an estimated 25 to 50 million people. The plague smashed entire communities, wiping out nearly half of the population in some regions. The combination of volcanic winter, famine, and plague brought the world to its knees. The fundamental nature of life itself was in jeopardy, and death hung large over everything. Societal impacts. The societal impacts were equally disastrous. With food shortages and pandemic, economies collapsed and political structures broke down. Trade routes, which had previously been humming with activity, were quiet as traders and tourists died from the disease. Cities that had flourished for ages became abandoned settlements, and entire civilizations hovered near the edge of extinction. Communities that had once been vibrant and full of life became hollow shells of their former selves. People lived in constant fear of starvation, fear of disease, fear of the unknown. The social fabric of the ancient world was torn apart, and survival became a matter of sheer luck. Psychological impacts. But beyond the physical devastation, there was an intense psychological toll. Living in a world where the sun does not shine, where the crops will not grow, where death hide around every corner. It must have been unbearably depressing. People turned to religion, superstition, and sometimes violence in an attempt to make sense of the chaos around them. Many believed these catastrophic events were divine punishment, a sign of the apocalypse. Some found solace in prayer, while others turned to more extreme measures, hoping to appease angry gods or ward off evil spirits. The human spirit was tested in ways it had never been before, as people struggled to find meaning in a world seemingly without of hope. Despite the immense depression, this period of darkness did give rise to some remarkable achievements. As people tried to maintain their heritage and communicate their experiences, art, literature, and culture changed both inside and outside of the Byzantine Empire. The events of these years were documented by monks and academics, giving us priceless insights into the hardships and resiliency of humanity at one of its darkest periods. 536. Worst year in history for humans to live. Even though a lot of the world was in chaos, these records serve as a reminder that the human spirit can endure and create even in the face of incomprehensible adversity, even when survival seems uncertain. The aftermath and the slow recovery. As the years passed, the world slowly began to recover. The skies eventually cleared and the sun returned, bringing warmth and light back to the earth. But the scars of the year 536 and its repercussion would remain for generations. The population had been demolished, economies were shattered, and the world had been forever changed. However, from this darkness, new societies began to emerge, learning from the past and rebuilding their futures. The resilience of humanity is a proof to our ability to adapt and survive, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The year 536 serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the interconnectedness of the natural world. It reminds us that even the most advanced civilizations can be brought to their knees by the forces of nature. But it also highlights our capacity for resilience, creativity, and survival. The lessons of 536 serve as a helpful reminder that, despite the difficulties we face today, such as pandemics, climate change, and social unrest, we are very resilient. By understanding our past, we can better prepare for the future, ensuring that we are not only survivors but bloom in the face of adversity. The sun shining brightly over a flourishing landscape. The year 536 may have been the worst year to be alive, but it also serves as a powerful evidence to the strength and endurance of the human spirit. We have faced darkness before and we have come out the other side. So whatever challenges lie ahead, remember, humanity has always found a way to endure and rebuild. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative content.